This is today's show, Left Jab and Right Bump, that we bring to you from the Geneva Shore Report because we wanted to be better kept up on what's going on politically, which we really haven't covered much. So some people get angry because this is opinion, and like an op-ed, it's not necessarily a fact, anything that we're saying here. It's what we've come to believe from what we've gathered in. Anyway, I am George Belushi Jr. and
Lisa Otto.
I'm the left jab.
No, right hook.
Okay.
And I'm Jen Lepkowski.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and we are here once again to sit down and have a little chat on what's going on in the world. What do we got, George?
Well, how about McConnell being the colossal whatever thing he is that he's been all along? I've never seen a better receding chin than he's got and acts like. Now they're want to, of course, hold up all legislation that they can that might pass and appointments, and they don't want the Congress to do away with the ability of the other party to stop them. They want 60 votes to be the majority. In other words, they want everything to halt, like they did themselves when they had control and didn't allow that judge on the Supreme Court for 284 days because it was too close to the election. But then the next election came and it was their candidate, and they got him in 8 days before the election, which was just disgusting to have that done and portrayed as being a part of the democratic process, even though he, as the interpreter of those rules, was really good about that, doing that. It was a rotten thing to do, and now he's being rotten again. So, and he's yours.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I can't defend him. I'm sorry. I know I'm on the right, but McConnell.
Yeah, he's
There's
not.
there's a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans, a lot of people who lean more that way that aren't huge fans of McConnell, I must say.
Well,
I mean, one of the things is the STAR and stimulus, this relief package that needs to go through is not going through. I think McConnell's a little behind it, so I can't defend the guy.
well, I'm supposed to be the left.
I know,
over here,
I'm the
but
right. I am the right. Okay, well let's talk about a little.
No, I was going to say, I was going to agree with you on that. And,
Yeah.
Except I'm blaming the Democrats. All right.
Look at that, we're bleeding our
There's
own
only one
side.
issue right now. Make good on your promise.
Right.
Deliver the goods.
Right.
And I don't
Well-
care about appointments, committees, any of that. You need to make good on the $2,000 that was promised that got those senators their job.
Well, they've been too busy. Biden's been too busy getting executive orders signed, shutting down work that is needed all over the country for many, many people. And okay, whatever, it's good for our environment to shut down the pipeline. Yeah, I dare everyone to go outside and shut off their gas.
I just heard that Quick Trip now has a special substance you put in your gasoline to keep it from freezing in Wisconsin.
Oh, you really?
At what degree does gasoline freeze? This will be good.
Okay.
This is fact checking done right in front of you.
Ooh.
Between minus 40 and minus 200 degrees. It has to be pretty cold.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
probably don't need it.
And that's if it doesn't have any alcohol in it, ethanol, which freeze with ethanol. Yes, ethanol. Oh, that takes it down to 114 below zero. So I wouldn't be too quick to rush over to Quick Trip and buy their.
Yeah.
That was on the radio this morning. That was on 96.1, and I was laughing in the car because I'd never even heard that gasoline could freeze.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So I guess in the Antarctica they might have a problem with that. And I know that down there when they land a plane in winter, that they keep the motors running the entire time it's on the ground so that the oil doesn't freeze because, let's see, maybe
Gosh.
Quick Trip has a substance to keep oil from freezing. At what degree does oil freeze? Okay.
Ooh, no, that's not right. That's not right. 42 degrees. That is not right.
Well, I didn't say I was.
But that's what it says. The average freezing point of olive oils. Olive oils. This is a cooking show now, folks. Cooking with George.
It doesn't say. I mean, come on. What is
Fossil fuels.
No.
they're saying
Oh.
boil, not nip.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Let's be done with that. Let's get back to the stimulus pack. So
If you
I
have
was
jobs that are assigned to do a bad project and you end the bad project, then yes, those jobs are gone. But are those not jobs you want to be gone? So that you can put these people to work at something, doing something good.
When did
Tomorrow.
they? Yeah.
Well, soon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be all over it.
So I believe 9. I don't even know. It was some crazy amount of people had to sign up for unemployment as of yesterday and the day before, ever since Biden has taken office and his administration has taken over. And the stimulus I was reading is not going to be ready until maybe the middle of February because it's going to have to go back and forth a little bit. The $15.
Well, what about one of your rotten senators who came out and said, well, let's tie the $1,400 to vaccinations. That way we'll make sure
What?
everybody gets vaccinated.
What?
You can't get your $1,400 until you're vaccinated, which is a sneaky way
That-
of making sure people don't get their money till damn near the end of the year.
Okay, that
Your guy.
yeah, that was a long time ago.
Don't-
That's a long time ago.
Wow.
Where is he at? That was
Amazing.
like months ago, weeks
Well,
ago,
I'm going right on to the ultimate.
days ago.
You kicked me off.
This is an ever-changing world. Every hour
You just
we have new
knew what?
something,
I have to-
something going on.
Okay.
Okay, and then
what?
I have to get back to well, not just the loss of jobs, not just the lack of stimulus, not just those kind of issues that are needed right now, right here for everyone. There's all kinds of other executive orders going on, and I'm trying to figure out how they expect to get these 1 million a day vaccinations out to people, because that's what they're claiming they're going to do. When I believe right now in Wisconsin we have 235,000 people vaccinated. That's it. How do you go from that in weeks to 1 million a day?
January 22nd, 2021. Okay, this is up off of Raw Story investigations. GOP lawmaker floats $1,400 check for Americans who take the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay,
That
floats.
makes it sounds like he's putting up $1,400 for people to get vaccinated. But no, hold on here. What he's really saying is we don't give them the $1,400 until they get vaccinated. And since we're not going to have everybody vaccinated until the end of the year, this is a right-wing trick to make it look like they're doing a good thing. We support vaccinations. What right-winger does that? And then not give them the money. What right-winger does that? All of them. Okay? And so then these people wouldn't get their checks without and they have no control over getting vaccinated. It's not like you can
Yeah.
call in and say, I want my vaccination now.
I think that's floated by already. It was floated. The float's gone.
21.
It's back.
21,
Yep.
22, January 22.
Yeah, well,
We're on January 22. Amazing.
okay.
So math isn't your major.
He floats it. That doesn't mean it's going through.
He floats the idea. Yeah, well, it's just
Floats it.
saying more of the.
I love that. He's floating it right now.
Okay, well, he's fact checked.
Okay, it's fact checked. You are right. That is a horrible thing. That won't pass.
And
That would be
yes,
fine.
there was this idea floated that there would be 1 million vaccinations a day.
A day.
But at the start, of course, we didn't have 1 million distributed. So we got to get it and make up for that 1 million a day by maybe
Well,
doing
he's fallen behind. He's already a couple million behind.
2.
2 million.
And we don't know how many got given in those 2 days. He may only be 1.5 million. So he can come back from behind.
He could. I mean, I hope he does.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so then this is on a whole nother topic. I need to bring this up. So, if we recall back when the Speaker of the House, when Nancy Pelosi was addressing everyone and talking about the pronouns and the way we address people. Do you remember that
No.
back then?
No.
Okay, well she did. And it was, instead of mother, father, grandparent, it's parent.
My heart.
I know. Oh no. Are you okay?
You have to bring
Okay.
up terrible subjects like this.
So I'm going to bring this up because I pretty much let that slip my mind.
Everyone
and put
makes
it,
mistakes.
Listen. There is more with this story. So I let that go with Nancy Pelosi. Whatever they want to do on the legislative floor, whatever, do what you do. Well, not anything, but if they want to talk to each other a
We've had
certain way.
anything happen on the 6th.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll get into that too because, okay.
But you finished your
Last night I was speaking with a college student who was signing into her virtual math class for the very first time. And guess what? Every student was asked and had to fill out what gender they preferred to be considered, what pronouns they would rather be used with their name, with their affiliation. This is a math class,
At what level?
college.
Okay.
Why? Why are we doing this? Who cares what your...
Well, doesn't the professor have the ability to do that and then use whatever pronouns he wants? Having been a professor, the rules in the classroom, given within certain constraints, were basically mine. I mean, I once had to go to the head of the university because a guy refused to take off his hat. He wanted to wear a hat during class. I said, no hats in class. He wanted an explanation why there were no hats in class. And the why was, I'm a professor and you're a student.
And it's my class and I run it the way I want.
And I'm uncomfortable with it, okay? So he had to take off his hat for class. Then he was amazed because he got a B in the course. And so he came and said, I thought you were going to flunk me. And I said, that's not how the university works. Your work merited a B, not a failure. It had nothing to do with the hat or the fact that we don't like one another. And he said, well, I never said I didn't like you. And I said, well, I presume that. And anyway, that
Okay.
whole story.
Well, that was great.
So what I'm saying is, at the college level, you're there electively, like sort of being on Facebook. They're in control when you're on there because it's a private site. And so we're trying to make rules for private sites like Pelosi's trying to probably extend out from the Congress at our peril. Because I like having a son and a daughter
Well,
and a mother-in-law and
Yeah.
all those things.
yeah, I like my titles.
And I don't think those things need to go away because they favor somebody or not.
Well, well, thank you. Thank you for going along with that. But I feel like it is filtering into all of our educational levels.
Well,
I feel like
our social level.
Our social levels, our educational levels, I feel like the propaganda in our educational system, in our public schools, are democratic, very progressive, liberal propaganda in our schools.
That's not true.
I mean, you okay.
That's the complaint. It's no more true than the military-industrial complex and the mass media are playing on us by the right wing, that we are not as powerful as we are, that we are weaker than we are, and then we can spend more money on the military-industrial complex. How much was the defense budget? $900 billion. It just came out in Aviation Week and Space Technology 2 weeks ago. What did it say? The number 2 on the list of all countries for national defense was China at $241 billion. Russia's down at $70 billion. Our budget for the Space Force, the brand new Space Force, is a quarter of the Russians' whole defense budget. No wonder these other countries can't put one carrier fleet at sea. Why? Because it costs $63 billion, and then you have to pay $7 million a day to operate it. That's one fleet. How many fleets does the U.S. have? Do you know any idea, right there?
Oh, isn't it
11.
11? I was going to say 9, but then you held up 2 fingers.
11. Okay, 11.
11. I was going to say
I'm just
9,
saying,
so I was close.
So how much more do we have to spend on defense before we have 800 military bases abroad and more than 400 at home. That's 1,200. How many military bases are there in the world of all countries, in all countries? Other than ours, 143. None of them in North America because we don't allow that, or on U.S. soil. What I'm saying is those military bases out there, they're all active, not just laying there. So how much money are we spending on all this stuff? And now we go back to the education system, which is the same story, that it's all
Very progressive liberal propaganda.
that's not true. That's just basically not true. Having
Maybe
worked
it's
on a
not. Maybe
campus,
it's not. But I don't think you're going to convince many people that it's not true.
well, basically anthropology is liberal, progressive. Its whole approach in considering humanity. What is anthropology? The study of man. Okay, it's the study of people getting together to do things. We call that socialism now. You do on your right wing. But you can't build a bridge without a bunch of people. You can't
No, that
build
is
this place.
that is a
without
very lovely, fluffy version of socialism.
Well, I'm a very
And I
lovely,
think
fluffy guy.
you
Not in everyone's opinion.
Oh no. Are we having
Oh, sorry.
big grown things?
No,
No.
I think that was just too fluffy.
You are. Like nice fluff.
It's a fluffy.
It's a very fluffy
A lot of them
sweater.
Hawaii. It was on sale. They couldn't sell it out there. In Hawaii, they're trying to sell this heavy sweater. $29. So I come out of the store wearing $29 sweater. That was like cut 7 times
Yeah.
before it sold.
It was probably like 270.
Yeah, and I'm not a big guy, so it was the right size for me. I come out and my wife goes, "How much did you spend? You said you were." I said, $29. That can't be $29. I gave the receipt. She goes in the store to make sure that that's right and that I did not shop like that.
Oh gosh. You're
My lovely lady.
yeah. You're lovely.
And then after that, she said, "What are you going to do with the sweater like that and white?" I said, "I'm taking it home.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah,
room for it in
vacation.
our suitcase."
And then
I said,
ship it back.
"I'll take some of your things out." Okay. Okay, we're back to
Yeah,
reality.
what else do we have going on right now with our new administration? Is there anything? Or are they too busy signing executive?
Well, there's a controversy because, you know, that guy that on the last 2 days of his office, the Trumper put in this guy to be in charge of the NSA or something. So right away, Biden suspended him and put him aside for a variety of reasons because you can't just fire him.
Yeah.
It's that kind of position.
Yeah.
But he can suspend him, and they're investigating him because there's no way this guy should be running the largest intelligence agency on earth. It's the NSA. It's twice the size of the CIA, by the way. And twice the secret. You know, I worked in the CIA. I write novels. I wanted to get some of my own background, so I went after my own records. The CIA sent me records. The FBI sent me records. And then the NSA sends me a really stupid letter, which I kept and put in my diary. How right-wing. It said, "The records of this individual are classified." And under that it said, "The knowledge that the records are classified is also classified." It just told me in a letter that what they're telling me is classified.
You don't get to know.
No.
Nobody, no.
The letter doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because they just gave me knowledge. It was classified in that letter. So I didn't hear it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well, anyway, this guy gets suspended, and there's a complaint coming from the right-wing media about the fact that us Democrats are acting outrageously in doing this. Okay, and it's not outrageous. All administrations do this. They put in the people that are from their party and are progressives and liberals. They don't put
some
in
of the people that are being appointed right now.
Rush Limbaugh. No. What? Some of the what?
I'm a nice right winger.
Bernie Sanders?
I'm a nice right
He
winger.
was
I
very
just-
popular candidate for president, and you don't want him in there?
No, I'm not talking about Bernie Sanders.
Okay, who?
I'm not thrilled about our Civil Rights Department of Justice lady that's been picked. I'm not thrilled about our
What don't you like about her? She has a good track record.
Sure she does. And she also believes that there's one superior race and mentally, physically, and spiritually superior than
Now,
all others.
You're presuming
And she's our civil
she's a
rights.
person of color.
So she's no, that's it's in her. She's stated it
college
and
paper?
yeah, and
Yeah,
college
we're
paper
going back to
and
the
stated
college
it.
paper.
Yes, you don't write something like that and then go into civil.
I'd hate for you to
Into
read
civil
my
rights.
journals.
Well,
I mean, I used to get in arguments
You
with my
for the-
wife. I have journals back to 1987, extensive, because I didn't want to be plausibly deniable in the CIA. I didn't know at that time, I was new, that if plausibly deniable, all they do is come in and get your journals and cut out every part they want to classify, and there you're left with 2 covers. So that doesn't help you. But when I was doing that, a few years later, mid-90s or something, I read back in my journals. I was looking up something to see where I was on a given day. Keeping daily journals really helps that way,
Yeah.
because you can go back and, oh yeah, it was that day. And you'd be amazed at how wrong your memory often
Yeah.
is about such things. But I was reading my own journal and I'm going, I can't believe I said things about my wife like that. What is wrong with you? That's terrible. You know, it was not justified. I was venting away, and you know, and of course she was stealing my diaries and reading them. No wonder we were fighting. And you don't write stuff in your diary that you don't want your wife to read. And don't think, because I made leather diaries and then I got locks and I locked the diary. My wife was an adroit bank robber. Because she could get into, the CIA gave me a briefcase with 2 locks on it. They said we're 2-hour locks. They couldn't be broken in 2 hours. She said, oh, that's a joke. They were a combination. So I said, really? Go ahead, have at it. She sits down in front of the TV set watching the soap opera. Bang, bang. Like 45 seconds later, these locks, these unopenable locks are.
my 5-year-old granddaughter was able to get right into my husband's safe, right in. No one else could get into it, but she got right in. We walked in the room, and there she is with the safe wide open. Yeah.
And what did your husband have in the safe?
Money. And it was everywhere. It was singles.
Your
Singles and
husband is the
change.
only guy in the world.
He saves singles.
He keeps singles in his safe.
He does. He
That way,
saves
when
them.
someone opens the safe,
Some,
they
it's
don't
not-
bother to take
right, because it's all singles. He's like, well, instead of spending, let's just save them like change. They add up fast.
it.
Kind
Okay.
of.
Okay. Well, they'll add
Anyway.
faster now because you're not smoking.
Okay,
Slowly
and speaking of that,
she turned.
we go to health.
Step
Okay,
by
so the
step,
new
inch
pick,
by inch.
the new pick for the health secretary. That's another.
You don't remember
I
who it
mean,
is, do you?
we're very progressive. That's all I can say. We are so progressive these days.
New health secretary.
Yeah.
That is.
It ain't been out
Oh.
there. And here's the thing.
Oh. Well,
What are we?
we're not.
I know we can't.
Rachel
even,
Levine.
can't even go there. Can't even go there.
I don't know what to say.
We're gonna leave that one right where it's at. Because I'm a nice right winger.
I understand.
You're welcome. We'll talk privately. I know.
That presentation. What is
I know.
that? Okay.
Well, because I think it's. Never mind. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, what are we moving on to? Yeah, I mentioned no or smoking, and you.
I went to the health secretary. That's appropriate. Smoking is bad for you. Health is bad for your health. Let's talk about the new health
She's
secretary.
certainly not smoking. Dr. Rachel Levine.
So let's hope that our stimulus gets through right away because it's not looking good. The $15 an hour minimum wage, not looking good. That looks like one of the items that's going to be fought over and going back and forth. And the reason is because small businesses, especially restaurants and the hospitality like that, they cannot afford to pay someone $15 an hour to wait a table.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
They don't
That's
have
what-
enough business. They don't
I have
enough.
never met small business
Unless
owners
all
who
prices are gonna
advertise
go way
what
up.
their real revenue is.
Okay,
All
yeah.
small
I'm
business
not-
owners are having a bad year and they're not making any money and they want the city to do more, they want the county to do more, the state to do
They're
more.
not.
I understand that because it is hard to be a small business owner and make it. I will get
These
that.
little
But it is the
shops-
primary, labor isn't your primary problem. I mean, this storefront we're in is probably $4,000 a month to rent.
In a different town, in a different place, without the kind of overhead that rent is downtown Lake Geneva, they cannot afford. There are small businesses that cannot afford to pay that. So the business is going to go out, the job is going to be lost, and more people are going to be without money. $15, it sounds great. It sounds wonderful. But I don't think it's feasible for a lot of places.
Well, I'm not sure it will survive without
Yeah, I don't
conditions
think it
anyway.
will.
Because, there's some wisdom to what you're saying. A bit.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't want businesses to go down because their labor expenses are too fast. I'm already worried about small businesses because what happened with our response to the virus. And all these businesses don't just get closed, they're gone forever. I mean, we have empty stores here because of the COVID. Gone forever. They retired, they left, they moved to good stores.
Yeah.
And we need those.
Yeah.
They give life to the community.
Yeah.
And so I'm worried. So I will share some of your concern here.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up for the day.
All right, we will.
It's
And
enough
we will go in
politics for one
search
day.
of more trouble out there.
It's not hard to find.
This is George Belushi Jr. coming to you. The left jab
And Lisa Otto, the right up.
and
Jen Lepkowski.
And the Geneva Shore Report.
good morning.